So for those that just joined in, we're talking about what is my headache telling me? And thus far what's come up has been needing magnesium and potassium, and also the crown chakra, and feeling that, whatever we're going to do is going to be a success, or I am a success even when things around me get tough. And age 7 has come up. So I don't know, where were you? What were you doing when you were 7, and what pops in your head? And again, it's this feeling of taken for granted. I am enough regardless of what I own. I'm connected to my earth family and my heavenly family. So sometimes we can feel a little bit separated. We can feel, especially as we get older for women, that our children don't need us so much anymore, and they want to live their lives in their own way. And sometimes that's hard for us. They have to choose their own way and do what they feel is right for them. But we feel sometimes hurt that they don't live it the way that we think they should live it, which, of course, we didn't want to live our life the way our parents necessarily wanted us to live. All right, I'm intelligent and spiritual. Sometimes people feel that if they're spiritual, they're not using their brain, but we need a combination, isn't it? We can say that our heart is more spiritually based, and we need to combine, logic with what we feel inspired to do. All right, so I'm just going to go into the 10th chakra now. So light sensitivity is coming up. Also, pride in our own achievements. And I guess it kind of, of course, we have to achieve and do the things that we feel are right, but we also have to acknowledge God in our life, and how it's a partnership, and that we, do the good that we can do through God's help, and we're his hands. All right. Also, what comes up is having a balance of rest and play. And often as women, we feel that we have a lot to do, and sometimes it can be hard to let ourselves have a rest. Often we feel like we'll have a rest when we'll have a rest when we've done all our work, but the work never ends, so then we don't have a rest. All right, the opening of the 10th chakra gives way to the giving up of judgment of oneself and others. So it's more like accepting who we are and accepting things as they are, and knowing that even the very worst things still are teaching us lessons and helping us to grow. Hard to accept sometimes. All right, let's go back into the brow chakra now. All right, I easily access my intuitive wisdom. Oh, good. Now the comments went showing up. Good morning, Sarah. Good morning, Jenny. And Sarah commented from age 7, more responsibility comes up. Yeah. And it's a lot as a child, isn't it, to have to feel that responsibility, especially for your siblings or, for whatever our parents ask us to do. All right, now we're going into the 8th chakra. So that's like, oh, good morning, Susanna. That's like that connection into the earth. We actually are part of the earth. All right, seeing the earth as needing to be conquered. And also our need to control everything in our environment. And sometimes when we have been in situations where we don't have control, that becomes the reflex to control things, to know that we do have control of what's going on. So one of the things that comes up to help is gardening. So like actually getting your hands in the dirt, working with plants. That's very helpful for us to be connected to the earth. And there's an oil called Holiday Joy. All right, Holiday Joy. Good morning, Elizabeth. Holiday Joy can also comfort individuals who are either without family or who have estranged relationships due to distance or the inability to heal. So while emotionally distancing may be appropriate in some situations where extreme or abusive behaviours are present, this blend reminds that separation is most often not a long-term solution. It offers a gentle reminder to embrace the love and warmth that healthy relationships in the family can bring. So you might use this when you feel stressed. And maybe to feel more joy in our relationships. Sometimes our relationships are difficult. So it's like kind of sifting through it to find the things that are good and to focus on what is good. And I think there's also benefit in talking to the people around us that are difficult about what brings us joy, what of their behaviour brings us joy, and what, can be difficult. All right, back to the crown chakra. All right, this is the original affirmation we went in with today. I'm a success even when things around me get tough. It's okay to peel away the layers and expose the real me. My mind functions optimally. I allow myself to be peaceful and balanced. And it's kind of like deciding that you are going to be peaceful and balanced regardless of what the other person is doing. Sometimes that's really hard to do because we can be set off by their behavior. I relax and trust the process of life. So I guess, life has always got these processes, isn't it? Like people are born, they grow up, they move away, they have their own life, they have their own children. Uh, you know, our parents get older, eventually they become reliant on us or on other people, and we can feel burdened sometimes by them. And as they get older, and sometimes it's like dealing with a 2-year-old that's grown up, so that can be difficult. So I guess being okay with the different aspects of life and the processes as they go. And I guess eventually, as we come closer to death, we have to be okay with letting go of life and letting go of our things and letting go of family and letting go of everything that we've held near and dear. I accept my body signals in perfect harmony and rhythm. So I guess for me, maybe going too fast or doing too much and then being forced um, to stop. And Sarah said, more responsibility for everything and everyone around us. Yes, it's true. Feeling like we have to make everybody okay. And I guess there's a certain part of, how much do we save people and how much do we allow them to have their own experiences. I'm thinking about when I had kids at school, and they forgot their lunch, I'd go drive their lunch up. But is it better for them to go hungry one day or escape from their friends, and then they'll have to learn to remember themselves? Sometimes this is hard for us to do as mums. Yeah, our feeling the need to make everyone happy. And also what we view through the media that lives imprints of a negative image or negative nature and images and feelings of suffering. So it's like, well, you have to filter very carefully, like not only what we allow our children to see, but also what we allow ourselves to see, because everything is stored in our mind and it's brought back. And often the awful things are brought back at the most inopportune time. So being very good at filtering what goes into your mind. All right, an oil called spikenard comes up, which is the oil of gratitude. Spikenard encourages the soul to surrender and appreciate life exactly as it is. It invites individuals to let go and find an appreciation for all of life's experiences. Spikenard teaches individuals to be grateful for their challenges as well as their blessings. So helping us to feel more content. And sometimes that's hard because we have in our head a picture of how we want it to be, or how we want our family to be, or how we want our home to be, or our body to be. And it's like being able to let go a little bit more and work through that to make it a work in progress, instead of just sort of feeling like, I haven't done it now, I've failed, this is terrible. All right, so now we're going into the throat chakra. All right, so this is weakened by keeping in what we really need to express. So, what is it that you really could say or should say or want to say? I substitute love, joy, and peace for old habits of addictions and abuse. So I think I've spoken about this before. Gabor Mate wrote a book called The Myth of Normal, and he talked about the people that get serious illnesses. He said always have the same personality traits. You know, they always very loving and giving to other people. They consider everyone else more important than themselves. Um, they would rather make other people happy than take care of themselves. They never express their anger. They never really put themselves first. So, you know, we need the balance with that, to be kind and loving to other people, and also to be able to put ourselves uh, first so that we can be of service to others. So it's like this becomes an abuse of self, isn't it? To not take care of ourselves and to think about everyone else. And so uh, he said this is a very important thing that contributes to chronic illness, is this inability to be able to ask for what you want and to have what you want, and to, you know, allow yourself to be happy to do that. It's like constantly pleasing everyone becomes a drain. I'm ready to put my negative habits aside and express my creativity. All right, how do you create? What are you going to what are you going to make? What are you going to write, dance, sing, write poetry? I don't know, create art of some sort, create craft. What do you create that helps you to express who you really are? And it's okay for me to sing my life song. So often we're scared to really say who we are or how we really feel, or to speak openly and honestly, and sometimes that's especially with our family because we don't want to upset them or we want them to be okay. I release the fear and doubt that blocks the way to my creative expression. I express myself easily and with courage. And it does take courage to express yourself. So, the topic of today is what's our headache telling you? So, do you get headaches? When do you get headaches? Why do you get headaches? Do you know why you get headaches? So, having reactions to our feelings. So, just like we can react to bad food, we can react to difficult feelings. Right. So, the feeling of being whole, sometimes we don't feel whole. So, Jenny said, thank goodness, not often now, but when I was reaching, is it menopause? I used to get them a lot. The feeling of always striving too. Oh, when she was teaching. All right. Yes, so Jenny's a beautiful teacher. All right. So when she was teaching, she got them all right. And, is that about us putting this pressure on ourselves to perform our best and to always be doing enough? I would imagine as a teacher of a number of students, there's a lot of people to make sure are okay. All right. So being a people pleaser, and I've done that for years myself, saying what you think the other people need you to say or doing what you think other people need you to do. And, thinking that if the other person's happy, then I'll be happy. But sometimes we cannot make another person be happy because there's things that they need to address, whether it's from their childhood or generationally. We cannot make another person to be happy. We can encourage them, we can have pom-poms, we can be the cheerleaders, but we can't make another person be happy. So having times of silence where you actually sit by yourself and sit with your thoughts is really important. And again, creative expression. So, painting, drawing, singing, dancing, movement of any sort or creation of any sort is really important for us. We're here to create. So the oil wild orange comes up. Now, wild orange is the oil of abundance. So we need to feel that life is abundant. Sometimes we feel very compressed or very restrained, whether it's by time or money or by circumstances. I think in the times of lockdown too, we did feel very suppressed. And for a lot of people, that was hugely damaging to their mental health. Some people loved it, but some people found it terrible. I smile for no reason and my physical energy is restored. So feeling that you're able to be happy anyway. All right, as Susanna mentioned, I do get headaches when attacked by opposition, and I feel like my head is in clamps or constricted or compressed. Yeah. And you've got to think about that too. Like the good team wants you to express who you are, to grow and learn through your experiences. The bad team want you to feel that you're compressed, feel that you're unable to be who you are, that who you are isn't enough. You're not going to be acceptable no matter what you do or say. So it's very restrictive. And so it does your head in literally. I know exactly how much to give and share only that which will not bankrupt me. So that's a good balance, isn't it? Knowing how much you can give without missing out yourself. I convey joy and positivity, dispersing moodiness and irritability that is generated from perfectionistic tendencies. So I guess that comes back to humility then too, isn't it? Trusting in God that we will be given the experiences that are most needful for us to grow into the best person that we are. It may not be the experiences that we want, but it will be the experiences that help us the most. And I guess having the humility to accept that and to work through that and to ask for help, because I think we are most likely to pray and approach God or ask for inspiration when we are the most stressed. And often our children or our families send us to our knees because we desperately need help. I am faith-filled, making wise and successful decisions, knowing that things are always going fine for me. So knowing in yourself that even when you're going through tough times, that you're still able to do the right thing by yourself and that you will be okay. I completely let go of crippling inhibition and live from my authentic self. In my authenticity, I'm adaptable, handling situations smoothly with a sense of abundance. And I think that helps with us giving too, feeling that we will be replenished as we give. Like it's trusting, isn't it, that the sun's going to rise every day, that we don't have to do anything or earn it. It just will rise. All right, we're going to go into the second chakra, which is the sacral chakra. All right, and what's coming up in this sacral chakra is the unwillingness to forgive oneself. And often we have these critical moments in our life where we have to make decisions, and sometimes we can feel we made the wrong decision, or but was it wrong? Maybe it wasn't ideal, but what did we learn from it? And you can always see the lessons that you learned from those experiences. Now, these feelings can be stuck in our ovaries. All right, also what's coming up here is allowing offense by others' actions. So I guess we can choose to be offended or choose not to be offended. We can observe that that person's behavior isn't great, but it doesn't mean that we have to be offended. It's like when a 2-year-old's, firing at you, you can put your hand on their forehead and then their little arms can't reach you. So it's like energetically, we can do that with people. We can see that they're flailing and that they're not okay and they're striking out. But it's like, this is not about me. This is your problem. I'm happy to be here and sit with you as you have your tantrum. I'm not owning it. That's yours. But I'm happy to help you work through it. All right. I deserve pleasure. So what does give you pleasure? What do you enjoy doing? So a silly thing, I put up some Christmas lights on our veranda yesterday, um, and I sat there last night for a little bit just enjoying the lights. So sometimes it's nice to just sit and enjoy something, or to observe, or to feel, or to just be present. What gives you pleasure? I'm in charge of my own sexual fulfillment. So it's like allowing ourselves to speak up in our relationships, even to what we like and what we don't like. So a friend of ours went to a course on, I forget what it was called now, but it was like, do I like my hand to be touched this way, or do I prefer it to be touched this way? And it was like working out things that we liked. It didn't all have to be about sex, but it was about what felt good for us, or what felt authentic, or acceptable, or safe to us. So it's like practicing what does feel good for you, what is nice for you, and being able to speak up about that, because often we just accept what the other person's giving and don't have a say. I honor my body and treat myself respectfully. There is nothing inferior about me. I love my life. And there are aspects of our life that we do love. There are some bits that are hard, but we have to have contrast, don't we? And maybe that's how we can see the difficult experiences in our lives, that we had to have contrast, that we have to understand the difficult to be able to appreciate the good. Now, for some people, their headaches are hormonal. All right, so the feeling that comes up in the sacral chakra is being overwhelmed. And sometimes we do get overwhelmed. There is a lot happening in the world, and there is a lot of responsibility. We have to take on a lot of things. It's safe to feel and process my feelings. I express my emotions in joyous, positive ways. I'm safe to feel and experience pleasure. Whatever I am guided to do will be a success. So, interestingly, I went to New Zealand recently for one of my husband's nephew's weddings, and happened to meet at church while we were there a couple that I'd known from the past. And good and bad experiences have happened. And anyway, this lady was telling me that she had been to me for treatment, which I'd forgotten, and that it had changed how she looked at things, and how she looked at health, and how her body worked. And so it's like sometimes we've created impact to someone and we don't realize it. We don't realize the good that we are doing or have done in the past. So um, it's like as you sing your life song, other people are listening, and they might take parts of your song and think, yes, I like that part and I'm going to sing that part too. So it's like as we sing and express and be who we are and enjoy our life, we're a beacon of light to other people of how to do that. All right, I accept the past and I'm excited to move into the future. I trust that things will be exactly as they should be, even though the way is unclear. Right, back to the crown chakra. My heart is open and flowing. I easily process my personal feelings. God loves and supports me on my journey. I relax and trust the process of life. And I think we talked about this one already, but I accept my body signals in perfect harmony and rhythm. All right, and if I say there's something blocking this, it's generational. Dad's mum's side of the family. And the women, like 63 generations of women. And I guess, in times past, women's and men's roles were very delineated and, this is what you do and this is what I do. And there was a lot of responsibility and probably things were harsher than they are now. All right, I'm thriving, fueled by positive energy. So we don't want to just be existing, we want to actually be thriving, growing, learning, expanding. Okay, up into the galactic chakra. So this is one contains what they call the Akashic record. So it's like every experiences that happen to us is stored in our energy, in our brain, and all our experiences, our thoughts, and our feelings. And sometimes they call this the book of life. So it's all stored in part of our energy field. So one of the things that helps strengthen this chakra is to pray. So I guess when we pray, we're asking, well, first of all, we need to thank for what we have received and what we're about to receive, and also to be able to accept with graciousness what we've been given. And then when we ask for the things that we want, to be able to listen and to hear the inspiration that comes. Now, sometimes the inspiration comes as we listen to someone speak, or sometimes it comes as we read our scriptures or some other uplifting materials, or sometimes it comes as we listen to music. We'll hear a particular line of a song, or a particular piece of music will have an effect on us. There's a lady called Seitel Schultz, and she is able to hear where energy blocks are in people's bodies by your voice. And I remember I did some work for her once, and she returned to me in kind. And she said at that time I was very blocked, and so she played this piece of music. Now, it didn't have words, but it was like in my head, I was very stuck at that point on what my children were doing, and I couldn't move past it, and I was so closed down. And so as she played this piece of music, it sort of came into my head that, God's got other ways to do this. It doesn't have to be your way. And it's like being able to see that there were other possibilities, because I was so shut down that I was not able to even feel or hope or think that there could be other possibilities. So that piece of music was able to reach in and change how I felt. So some people do yoga to sort of, hold different poses or stretch different parts of their body to help release emotions that are stored in different parts of the body. So jasmine oil comes up. So jasmine supports the resolution of sexual issues, encourages safety with intimate relationships, and invites only the purest intentions to the sexual experience. So it's like, I guess for some people, that's a way of self-expression. And of course, that's a very sacred relationship, isn't it? The relationship that we have with our partner. And, these things are very intimate and to be used with love and kindness. All right, so another oil comes up here, the oil Divana. So I don't know anything about that one. I haven't had it, haven't smelled it. But we can plug in the vibration of it. All right, so this oil assists with a wide range of sacral chakra issues and imbalances. It invites deeper awareness of the ability to connect with the self and with others in more intimate and vulnerable ways. It reveals how much is being held back, kept safe, suppressed. It helps manifest healthy sexuality and assists individuals in being more comfortable in their own skin. Divana encourages all to embrace the gift of their bodies, to get in touch with their sensuality and allow themselves permission to experience desire. So Divana facilitates reclaiming personal power and belief in the ability to create healthier connections than in the past. It helps individuals to clearly invite what will serve and enhance their life and repel what weakens them and drains their life force. This oil imbues them with the confidence and the courage they need to choose a life full of passion and purpose. And citrus bliss is another oil here. So it's the oil of creativity. So citrus bliss can motivate individuals to use their true creative power by letting go of old limitations and insecurities. It takes courage to put oneself out there artistically. Citruses bring color and imagination to one's life. This combination of oils restores confidence in oneself and in one's creations. Citrus bliss rekindles the fire of personality and fills the heart with creativity and joy. So this makes me think about having confidence in our children or the things that we create, our businesses or other aspects of our life. It's like, even though we can see the problems that they have or the difficulties that they bring to us, it's like trusting that this creation that we have created has good to do. We may not know exactly how, but having that trust that it will be okay. All right, so sometimes when we have a headache, there are structural components. Our jaw might not be right, the bones in our head may not be sitting right, the bones in our neck or in our spine or our sacrum or our pelvis, even our feet can contribute to how our body stands and operates. All right, so C5. So I always think of C5 as the sugar circuit. So often we want to eat sugar when we're stressed, and it's not a helpful thing. All right, regular self-sabotage, low self-worth, difficulty in receiving good things into your life, feeling overburdened, strained, and limited. So on the physical level, that also affects the vocal cords, may experience laryngitis, hoarseness, and sore throat. So that kind of was what happened to me. I felt funny in the throat on one side, the jaw started, bit in the head. So I guess we do have this fear of getting it wrong or being humiliated or embarrassed or ridiculed. Yeah. And worrying about how other people see us and value us. All right, T7. All right, carrying bitterness, resentment, and feelings of victimhood. You need to inject more humor and fun into your days. So on the physical level, you may experience problems with your pancreas and duodenum and suffer from diabetes, ulcers, and gastritis. So it's like not digesting our life, isn't it? We're not okay with our experiences, and we're not able to process them and absorb them and move forward. And we're taught in Neuralink that T7 is like the valves of digestion. So like your ileocecal valve, your Houston's valve, the valve at the top of your stomach, the cardiac sphincter, the one at the bottom of your stomach, the pyloric sphincter. They all have to work together for our digestive system to be functioning at its best. So this T7 can affect that as well. Right, T12. All right, feeling fearful. All right, deep-seated belief that you deserve to suffer and struggle. So that one's also generational. So we can have these generational beliefs that we're living in. Dad's mum and the women. 66 generations of women. So small intestine can be affected by that T12. And we're going to go L5. Feeling weighed down. Something is holding you back and you are unable to move forward. Holding on to feelings of betrayal, abandonment, and isolation. The tendency to see yourself as a victim. Our coccyx. Focusing on how life is unfair and you can't get what you want. So this could affect your rectum or your anus or even hemorrhoids. So this is from Ina Siegel's book, and she's saying massage lengthwise along the side of your feet from the big toe to the heel. Especially focus on the parts that are sore. When you're massaging a sore point, Close your eyes, take a few deep breaths in, and focus on the color green. Visualize it dissolving the blockage, which may appear dark in color. Then focus on the sore point in your spine and breathe into it and flood it with green light. Divine healing intelligence, please dissolve all pain, stress, and tension from my spine. And you can say specific parts that are hurting if you want. I ask that all the vertebrae in my spine now come into alignment. Okay, so I guess, our body is a representation of our spirit and also a representation of our feelings. So it's like when parts of our body complain, it's like part of us is out of balance. So it's like needing to speak up about what's out of balance. All right, anything else or any other parts of people's bodies that are complaining? Anything else that we could clear today? All right. Thank you for the patient people that jumped on, and I hope the sound was a bit better today. I've tried a new microphone. Thank you, Ari. All right. Hope that you get to enjoy some pleasure in your body and some pleasure in this time of year, even if it's to hear the sounds of summer or to feel the sun and to feel that you can be a success and you're here in this life at this particular time because you're the right person to be here and you're the person needed for the job. So trust in your ability to get the job done. All right. Thank you. See you.